So ideally we will be able to take these out, so we have room to put a new beam in, but we can't take these out because they're stuck behind the vault.
So what if we take a fractionally smaller beam, because the one over there is also a bit smaller, so that it would slide in easier. I think this one we can get this one out even without being able to remove the top layer of stones, because
it's really
it's
soft.
so soft.
Yeah, if you take a chisel or something.
Yeah. So we then support the steel beam, and we support the stone in the opening. Yeah. That
one.
And then take out the beam and find another piece of wood in our supply.
It's slightly...
That's just like 1 or 2 centimeters thinner.
Yeah. And then hopefully this stays up, or maybe we should replace this loose stuff with something better, and maybe these stones will just stay in place for the time being.
It's probably best to point them again, so that I mean, probably those stones are wider than the beam, than the lintel, so they would stay in place probably, but just in case. What's the depth of this thing? Like all the way until the stone, because they have used 2 separate pieces here, I think.
17 to 17.5.
Okay.
That's 15, 14.5, 15 over here. And the length. 1 meter 16 centimeters. So the next step is to find a piece of wood that's the right size.
We found an oak beam in the right size on top of our fireplace. We're going to demolish this fireplace soon. It's not original to the house, not very heat efficient, and it will be in the way when we modify the ground floor. In its place we'll have a wood burner, like there was before.
This beam out of the fireplace, we're going to reuse it as a lintel above the small window in the workshop. But we're not the first ones to reuse it. Before it became a fireplace beam, it was a beam in a railway track, because the youngest brother of the previous owners, there were 4 brothers and sister, he used to work for the railways in a nearby town, and so that's where you got it.
I was thinking about what we are going to do with this space in the future, because I'm now going to use a Malta Antica for doing the pointing, and maybe in the future we're going to use quicklime or pot lime, and so then the color might be different, or and I was just thinking about this and then I thought, but yeah, we have to use insulating plaster on these walls anyway.
So you won't see the pointing, you mean? Yeah, that's true.
And then I was going through the same dialogue that I've had in my mind for a long time. Isn't it a shame to plaster over all these stones because they're super beautiful? Even if insulating plaster will offer better insulation, isn't it a shame? But then I was thinking, yeah, since this isn't currently living space, this is agricultural space, it needs to comply to all the building code for newly built houses, so the demands for energy efficiency are going to be way higher than for the house. So I don't think we can get away with not plastering them with insulating plaster.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. If you have an old farm that's already residential, and you have the natural stone walls on the inside visible, how do you solve getting all that dust in the cracks? I mean, you can point it, but there's still a very uneven surface with lots of little ledges where dust can fall onto.
You mean even if you point all of this, it's still an uneven surface, so it will still catch dust?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the way it is. Okay.
That's the way it is. Yeah. That's why even in Italian farmhouses, the insides of the walls were plastered.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's way easier for maintenance. And that's why unplastered walls have this, like, especially with older Italians, this connotation of like extreme poverty.
Yeah.
Because when you can't afford to plaster the inside of your walls, it means you're poor. Inside of the old farm, all the walls are plastered.
Yeah, they are plastered. Yeah. True. Yeah.
It's only in what used to be agricultural space that it wasn't plastered, because it wouldn't matter that it would catch dust.
No. Work. Dit ken je, het gas is niet nat nou. Ja, goed zo.
Kunt jij misschien... Oh, wacht, hier is nog een steentje misschien. Echt een klein steentje voor mij pakken.
Normally, when you replaced a lintel, you'd put up additional masonry supports above the window. But because our barn windows sit so close to the ceiling, this wasn't possible. Not without partly taking down the ceiling, anyway.
Svitare la volvola servendosi della leva aprendo più o meno a secondo la velocità che si...
After a lot of weighing the situation, we decided to support the ceiling beam with acro props. Repoint about 1/2 meter above the rotten lintel to help everything stay in its place. Support the exterior lintel stone with a 50-ton bottle jack and just hope for the best. Because this window is really small, the wall tapers towards the outside. The ceiling beam adds additional support, and the wall above the lintel is a good 8 centimeters narrower than below. There isn't all that much pressure on this particular lintel, but you probably shouldn't try this at home.
Eén dakje hoger.
Oeh, ja poes.
A few days ago, we welcomed a second kitten to the farm. Meet Flanella. She's 2 months younger than Pelica, and they were supposed to arrive at the same time, but little Flanella had other plans. Introducing them to each other hasn't been the easiest process. We took the slow approach of letting her settle in, introducing them to each other's smells.
Kom poes, daar is je eten.
Eating together apart and spending supervised time together. But it's still accompanied with lots of hissing and an occasional slap from Pelica.
Hey there.
So I've got like these that are like really pretty thin. This one.
this one, even this one is probably not the best because it's also a bit uneven.
Might come useful for some spots.
Like, do you think we need more this size but a little bit thicker?
Maybe I should try the other side now, and then maybe you can wiggle a bit left, a bit on the right. Then again, maybe it's already coming a bit.
Yep.
There it is. No, it's still touching the stone somewhere in the back. There you are. Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, it's on the table.
Alright, thanks. There you are. Okay.
Can you put it all the way down on this side?
Yeah.
Ja. Goed zo. Ja.
Hmm.